beaders, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I have both the Potomac bead subscription boxes for the month of May 2020. They have two different sizes. They have a smaller box and they have a larger box, and it looks like the larger box is sold out at the time that I'm filming this, but they do have a wait list. You can put in your email and they will notify you when it's back in stock. We'll get started by looking at the smaller of the two boxes. This one is as low as $19.99 per month if you sign up for a yearly subscription. If you'd like to do a 1 month sub, it's $25.99, and they have all different options as far as that goes. And I will leave the link down below to the subscription if you'd like to check out both the options and all the different time frames. I do have a coupon code if you'd like to save 10% off your first subscription, and I will leave that down below as well. So these come in this great sturdy box with a magnetic closure. I always love to reuse these boxes. And as we open it up, it looks like our theme is called Afternoon Tea. And inside this little pamphlet, we will have the list of all of our contents, all organized here for us. And as you can see, we have a pattern behind that pamphlet and everything we need included in this box to make that particular pattern. So let's take a look at that. And it looks like our pattern for this month is for the tea time bracelet, which looks lovely. And we get our full color, nice, easy to follow pattern inside. So for the smaller box, you do get one pattern as well as everything you need to make that particular item. Plus you get more beads. And then this is what we see inside, along with all of our shreds. There's a sneak peek at our beads. I'm gonna set these aside and we'll go through the contents one at a time. Something I really appreciate that they've been doing lately is that they've been putting the contents of the items we need for the pattern into a separate bag. So that's just helpful to understand what contents are specifically for that and then what we have that are additional. So it looks like the first item for our pattern is contained in this bag. These are Iris Duos, and the color is called White Lila Vega Luster. Now, I do want to mention from unboxing these in the past, the colors will probably vary from box to box. In fact, you'll see that there are repeats in the XL box that we'll get to next, and those color selections may be different. But this is a gorgeous shade of purple. These are some 2-hole ellipse-shaped beads, as you can see, and a great way to get into playing with some of these new shapes if you're newer to bead weaving and specifically playing with some of these shapes. You get that pattern to go along with it and a video to follow. In addition to the Iris Duos, we also have two different colors and sizes of Miyuki seed beads. Glad that they send Miyuki, a great quality, great brand. This is a lovely shade of matte seafoam, like it says. And then I received a dusty mauve Ceylon color. So I think those will be really pretty all together in the bracelet. And then also included are two buttons. So we're gonna have a button clasp on that bracelet and definitely be using one of those. What's nice too is that even though these are the items for that pattern, you usually end up with extra that you didn't even use in the pattern. So off to a great start there. And we have a number of other items to go through. So the first item for the general contents of the box are these two, what they're calling on the list, fancy ear wires. So I'm sure they may differ from person to person, but let's take a closer look at these. So that's cool. Something different than a really basic ear wire. These actually remind me of the center of a sunflower, so that's pretty interesting. And it's always handy to get additional findings included with these bead subscriptions. The next item is contained in this bag. So this contains some Czech cat face beads. So that's something very fun and different. You can see these are Czech glass beads. Mine came in the color black. What I really like about these is just the novelty of them. They would make a really fun gift for a cat lover in your life or perhaps yourself, but look at all the detail there in the pressed glass. And not to mention, they are actually double-sided. They're the same on both sides, and they feel pretty chunky as well. Our next bag contains some drop duos. It says there's 6 grams in the bag, and I received mine in the vintage copper color. Always excited to get the 2-hole beads or multi-hole beads in these subscriptions. They, of course, add value. They are usually a little bit pricier, and it's a fun way to bulk up your stash of some of these new and different shapes. You can see that these are kind of a slim teardrop shape with the 2 holes running parallel across the bead. And I really like this color. I think it will go with a lot. It's really a lovely shade of copper. It's not too bright and glossy. It's more of a matte metallic finish. The next item that we received are some nibbit beads. There are 5 grams in this bag. Love this shape. I received mine in this shade of gold. They are called Aztec gold or bronze patina, it looks like. Another lovely metallic shade that will go with a lot of different things, and I'm happy to have these. All right, guys, what's next? Let's see, we have our check glass daggers, and these are absolutely gorgeous. It says there's 7 grams inside, and let's take a closer look. It looks absolutely stunning. Wow, I'm all about that finish. It's a beautiful shade of off-white with this kind of antique silver that is splashed on, and it gives these an overall antiqued appearance and slightly shiny. Those are some of the most beautiful daggers I've ever seen. All right, I'm really happy with that. All right, next we have a bag containing some 2-hole check glass cabochons. It says 18 millimeters in size. Something different, a beautiful teal color, and you can see the 2 holes because they are slightly translucent. The glass has a frosted appearance, and they just have the slightest dome. They looked completely flat in the bag, but they do have a slight dome, so I can see how you could use these as a cabochon, maybe do some shallow beaded bezeling around these. And very interesting that they have 2 holes, so that's another unique item to play with. Then next we have a bag containing 2 pewter connectors. And as you can see, these are 3-hole connectors, so they could hold a multi-strand necklace or bracelet, something like that. Even earrings if you got kind of creative with those. And there's a look at the back and the front. It's a very pretty classic type of design. And then here is our charm we received. I received mine in this kettle variety, definitely spot on if you get my terrible pun, like spot of tea. But there's that cute little teapot charm. It's actually really adorable. And you could just connect it right there at the handle to your piece. A lot of detail in there. Really, really cute. Then we have these 2, they're just called plated crystal links. So they've got the clear glass with the little faceting on them, and then around the glass you have the gold-plated brass. And it's a pleasing shade of gold. It's kind of toned down. It's not as yellow or brassy as some gold findings can be. And I really like these a lot. Different from anything I currently have, and the fact that they're clear. They will be pretty classic and easy to put with some other things. And then our very last item for this bag is a pewter toggle clasp. Really nice clasp. I like all the detail in this, and it's different from anything I've seen. There's an overall look at the piece. It's not double-sided, and it's on the larger side, so it'd be good to use with maybe some larger or chunkier beads. And you can see it's in an antique bronze or brass color. So that is everything that I received for their regular box. I think it's a great one. I actually really like the mix of different things in here. I personally like the multi-hole beads. I like the fact that you also get some 11-0 and 15-0 Japanese seed beads. You get a fun mix of findings that are in different finishes. And then you get a few other types of beads as well. And also, like I mentioned, there will be leftover beads most likely from the pattern. I love the fact that this subscription actually provides you with not only a written pattern, but the video to go along with it. So depending on your learning style, you have that to follow, plus everything you need to make something right away without having to think too much about it. Not only that, I like to mention that Potomac Beads already has over 1,500, I know it's more than that, beading tutorials. So you're sure to find a lot of different ideas for what they send just on their YouTube channel alone or from their selection of written patterns. So very solid box to me so far. This one is definitely available right now, and it does overlap with the XL. So the XL box, you're gonna see everything here, just maybe in some different color tones, plus you'll get extra. So let's take a look at the XL box and see how that compares this month. All right, so I have the XL box in front of me right now. Let's open her up and take a look. So we have our same kind of insert on the top, but of course it's gonna be a little bit different because it includes things for 2 of the patterns as well as additional items beyond the base box. Again, we have the description of our theme here. It's the same one, the afternoon tea, and then there's their website there. You can go for all sorts of different ideas. So below the brochure, we have our 3 patterns this time, so you get enough to make 2 of the patterns. Of course, you get enough to make the tea time bracelet. You also get enough to make this Zoli Duo fan pendant. Let me look at this. Wow, that's really cool. And here's a quick little peek inside so you can see how nice those diagrams are. And then you get a bonus pattern, and this is for the daisy chain necklace. And the materials are not necessarily included for this, but of course you can find all the materials at potomacbeads.com. So 3 patterns included in the XL box. And here is a little peek at our contents below. And once again, they have things divided up, so you have what you need for your different patterns. First of all, you can already see that this is very similar to what we received in the first box for the tea time bracelet, but you can see that the iris duos, instead of being purple, this time I received a lovely shade of kind of a sage green. The 2 types of seed beads look the same, and then my buttons are very similar, except that the backs of these have that silver Labrador finish and the other ones were completely crystal clear. So I can set that aside. And then it looks like this is everything we need to make the Zoli Duo fan pendant. Let's take a look at all these materials. I love this color combination. That is beautiful. So we have a bag of O beads in the Aztec gold finish, one of my favorite gold finishes in the check glass personally. And another one of my favorites in the rose gold luster is what it's usually called, I believe. Those are the Zoli Duos. And here's a closer look at those so you can see just how beautiful they are. They have that speckled, dusty rose, light pink finish in the background with that golden luster washed over them. And that kind of a paisley shape, so they're like the paisley duos, just a little bit different. And there's the 2 holes there. So great opportunity to work with a shape like this if you haven't already, or just to do something different with it. And also received a bag of size 15-0 Miyuki seed beads in the dark topaz gold luster, a great classic metallic color to have on hand anyway. And some of these 4mm check glass melon beads. You can see the little ribbed shape. So they're like rounds, but just a little bit different. So here's our bag of additional items. Looks like a lot of great things to go through. I'm really happy with this month's subscription so far. I've overall been very happy with Potomac bead subscriptions. Last month I mentioned it seemed a little bit lighter to me, but that's the thing about subscription boxes. Every month is a little bit different. You just have to take them for their overall consistency. So I'll show you some of the things that were from the base box. So there's our little tea kettle pendant. That's the same. The same for pressed check glass cat bead faces. These nibbit beads are the same. Also in that Aztec gold color that I received before. Now the daggers are totally different. I'm gonna have to take these out of the bag to really get an idea of what this color is all about. And these are pretty interesting. It's actually kind of a mix, and they go from this dark purplish amethyst to a forest green in some spots, and there's also some parts that look a little bit like a smoky topaz or grayish tone. So really interesting mix there, and quite a nice handful of dagger beads. Here's the pewter toggle clasp. I won't take it out, but you can see it's the exact same design. This one's just in the antique silver. These are the 2-hole 18mm cabochon beads. The last ones were in teal, and these are in a deep purple. And these also have some sort of a shiny luster on them, very pretty. And as I'm looking at these, they might actually go pretty well with the daggers, using these beads in conjunction with those to make like a beaded flower. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Here are the drop duos, just in the Aztec gold, which I'm super thrilled about. And just to mention that third pattern they sent, the bonus one for the daisy chain, this one actually uses the drop duos. So they did include some of those. It just may not be the exact quantity you need and everything else all together with it, but that's pretty interesting. And then the other 3 remaining items are the same, the crystal links, the dotted ear wires, and also the 3-strand connectors. So now we have 5 remaining bags. The first item that we get to is a bag containing 4 grams of check daisy beads. You can see these are in a light vanilla color. These always remind me of the metal daisy spacers, just in glass pressed bead form. Really sweet. I have some of these in a couple other colors. And I made a ring with some of these that I shared way back when, and I never really developed it into a tutorial, but hopefully I will one day. So many projects I'd love to get to. The next item is a Potomac Crystal Rivoli. This is in the color Violet, one of my favorite shades of purple there. It's a 14 millimeter, and there's a close look at that. Very pretty crystal. There's a look at the back. So these are just a little bit rougher than Swarovski, but definitely still very sparkly and usable, very pretty. And I love that they include things like this in addition to the beads. It's a really, really well-rounded subscription box that I always find myself excited to get. Here's the next bag. This one contains 5 cotton pearl beads in the 8 millimeter size. This lovely shade of lavender. And these are always so interesting because of the way that they're made. I do believe they are made out of like cotton fiber and made to look like pearls, but they're super light. So the nice thing about them is if you use a lot of them together, they're not going to weigh down your neck. That's a beautiful color too. Goes very well with the overall palette that I received in this box. And then next we have a whole tube of these peanut beads. How cool is that? And what a fun finish on this little shape. These are teeny tiny, and I'm sure you can see how they got their name. They look like a little peanut. They are kind of pressed in the center with the hole in the center, and are sure to be fun to use and to seek out some patterns or come up with something for them. And here's the very last bag containing 7 grams of check glass drop beads in a 4x6 millimeter size. You can see mine are in a pastel pink tone. Beautiful, glossy, little dainty light pink drops with some very subtle variations in where the pink is landing in the beads. And that is everything for the XL box. So as you can see, you get the 3 patterns, and I believe I counted 23 different bags plus tube of different items. And the price on this one is $35.99 per month, I believe, if you sign up for the yearly subscription. I do believe you have to pay for that all at one time, or you can sign up for a 1-month option, which is $39.99. That's free shipping, by the way, in the US. And don't forget, I have the code with a capital O if you'd like to save 10% off your first subscription. Again, the XL is sold out at the moment that I'm filming, but they're constantly adding new spots, so definitely go check and see if it's available, if it's something you're interested in. This is another subscription that I highly recommend. In fact, I personally subscribe to the XL box specifically to share with you guys and compare. I love unboxing with you, but also giving you the option to see the contents up close, especially over time, so that you can see which boxes are right for you and your style. I think this one in particular is awesome for those of you who like working with a wide variety of different materials. You like having patterns to follow, but also some different options to spark your creativity, or maybe you're just getting into bead weaving and this is a great way for you to have some projects ready to go, and it's a great way to start and to learn a lot of different techniques and work with a lot of different types of beads that you know you can get more of. So I'm really happy with this month's selection. I think this has actually been one of my favorites so far. I'm really happy with the color choices, and I know they'll vary from person to person. Also, the projects are really interesting, and it's a great variety of all different things plus findings. So that's my personal take on it. Feel free to leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the Potomac Bead subscription. Maybe you are a subscriber, or let me know if you have a favorite item here, anything else you'd like to say. If you'd like to see more of the Potomac Bead subscription unboxings, I do have a full playlist sharing them all the way back to when they first started. So that should hopefully help you make a decision on this box, or just give you a closer look at all the different things that they carry. I've got a lot more to come, so I hope you'll stick with me. Hope you guys are staying sane and healthy and well. I'm doing the best I can over here. There have been some ups and downs, not gonna lie, but we are all healthy and that's what matters. So I hope you guys are too, and I will see you guys real soon. Until next time, have a fabulous rest of your day, and as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching.